Justin here of Yugatech, and today we're checking out Huawei's new affordable addition to their Y series of smartphones. This is the Huawei Y7p. So without further ado, let's check it out. Opening the box will reveal the phone itself. Below it, you'll find another box that contains a clear case and SIM ejector tool. And below that, you'll find a power brick and a USB to micro USB cable. Now looking at the Y7p, on the upper left corner, you can see the hole cutout which houses its 8-megapixel front-facing camera. Onto the display, it's rocking a 6.39-inch TFT LCD IPS panel with a resolution of 1560 by 720 pixels. Sitting on top of the display is the earpiece, while below the screen is a pretty thick chin. Moving at the back, we have here its fingerprint scanner. And on the upper left, you can see the quad camera setup, which we'll dive into more later. The back is made out of polycarbonate material, but it does have a glass feel to it, which makes it a little bit premium to the touch. Although, like most smartphones, this can be a fingerprint magnet as well. So the unit we have is in the Aurora Blue color, but there's also a midnight black variant for a more classic look. There's a 2.5D effect going on wherein the device projects its metallic light gradient color when it hits the light, and I like it. Now holding the Huawei Y7p can feel a little chunky, and I find one-handed operation quite challenging at times. But that's probably just me. On the left, you'll find its dual nano SIM card tray with a dedicated micro SD card slot for up to 512GB of storage. On the right, you can see its volume rocker, and below that is the power button. Up top, you'll find a secondary microphone, while down at the bottom, we have the primary microphone, loudspeaker, 3.5mm audio jack, and a micro USB port. Yeah. Powering the Huawei Y7p is a Kirin 710F processor coupled with a Mali G51 MP4 GPU, 4GB of RAM, and 64GB of internal storage. For the battery, we have a pretty sizable 4000 mAh battery. For software, we get Android 9 skinned with EMUI 9.1. Well, sadly, it doesn't have any Google services installed, so you'll have to install it for yourself. However, Huawei has a pre-installed app gallery, which is pretty close to Play Store, but it doesn't have all the apps you probably need like YouTube, Facebook, and that sort. For cameras, at the back, we have a 48-megapixel primary lens, 8-megapixel ultra-wide, and 2-megapixel depth. Up front, we have an 8-megapixel front shooter. Since this is just a quick hands-on, check our sample shots right now. The Huawei Y7p is priced at 9,990 pesos. So far, I think this is a good deal. The only problem I think people will also hate is the absence of Google services. I mean, you'll get the hassle of manually installing the Google Play Store from third-party websites, which sometimes is not working. But putting that aside, I think this device is great considering its price. And yeah, stay tuned